Hey everybody, it's Jen Hall here, and I wanted to go live on a particularly controversial email that I sent out this morning to my amazing list, and it was around why it pays to be picky. Now, this is controversial for me because, Nikki's one of the people that has opened my email this morning and actually gave it a shout out in my group, because it's a bit of it's a stinger, I must admit. So I've seen I've seen other coaches, okay, so not a lot necessarily, but I've seen other coaches whose audiences have been a little bit prickly because they haven't been offered the chance to perhaps speak at their events, or they haven't been given the opportunity to be a part of something and be spotlighted, or they've been turned down for a guest expert spotlight position. All of these different things where, you know, their audience were a bit like, oh, hold on a minute. And I've also experienced that in my own business as well. And I just wanted to be straight and clear, for the sake of transparency, why I choose to operate in the way I do, and I'll go into that in a second, and how you should also probably be thinking the same way as me. Okay, and I know that's a bit perhaps up my own arse, but there we go. I'll explain what I mean by this. So even if I absolutely adore somebody and I perhaps even love what they do, it doesn't mean that they are going to get the opportunity to perhaps appear as a guest on my Truth Bomb show. It doesn't mean that they're going to be invited to come and speak at my events, and it doesn't mean that I'm automatically going to promote their stuff. Okay, as much as I adore the person and as much as I think that they are fab, right? I am a very nice person. I am through and through. I love people, I adore them, and I think we should all be absolutely 100% supportive of each other. However, I am also, hey Joe, I also am a businesswoman. And I think it's really important that we recognize that what we put out there and who we collaborate with and what we choose to associate ourselves with is vitally important to our brand and what we show people. You know, I am somebody who I pride myself on the content that I share. There is a certain standard that I want to show up as and to. There's a bar that I hold. And I think it's really important that we share and align with the things that we share values with, that we stand for the same things, that we are passionate about the same things, and that we're on the same wavelength. This is particularly true when it comes to my Truth Bomb show. Now, I'm quite happy to have people pitch to me ideas about things that they could contribute to that show, and it may mean that absolutely I go, yes, that sounds like a great topic. But there have also been occasions where people have pitched to me where they want to perhaps speak at one of my events, or they want to be a part of that Truth Bomb show, or they would like me to recommend their product that I don't feel totally fits in some area. So it may be that I'm not passionate about that topic. So having a conversation on a Truth Bomb show would be very dry, and that the reputation of the Truth Bomb show is that it's a bit controversial, that we're passionate, that we're fiery, that we're here to take a stand on a particular topic. And for that to happen, there has to be some synergy together, that we're both on the same wavelength and we share the same view for it to have the right impact. That's what that show is about. If that show was about having two different opinions and having an argument over it, or, you know, having a debate on that topic or whatever else, then there may be a different reasons to why I might pick somebody. But the fact is, that's what the show is about. The show is there to stand up for the topics that I truly believe in, that I am passionate about, that other people share the same values and the same views on that particular topic as me, so that it represents my brand and what I'm about, and also raises that other person up so that we can align together and show that we're kind of on the same team. It wouldn't work if I just got a really dry topic that I wasn't that passionate about. That conversation isn't going to be interesting for anybody to watch. So it's adversely affecting my business and theirs. Why do that to each other? I've run a podcast with somebody before where I asked them not to air it. because I felt that it didn't position us in a good way in either way, because we got on there and we started to have discussions and we weren't aligned, we weren't on the same page, and it was all about positioning me as the expert as well as helping position them as the expert. But you've got to be on the same kind of page, right? And so we both agreed that it wasn't a good one to air, so we didn't air it, because it wasn't something that portrayed us in the light that we want to be portrayed in. We're upholding brands. We have a reputation to keep, and that's really important. And it doesn't mean that I dislike other people. It doesn't mean that I think that they're a shit bag or whatever else. It just means that it doesn't fit in with my business and my business model, my brand, or indeed my audience, because I want to deliver what my audience would like to hear about, not what not what they would just like to deliver. It's the same reason I don't advocate products that I don't truly believe in. I don't affiliate or associate myself with products that I haven't used myself, or have at least had first-hand experience with somebody who has experienced that product and will tell me, oh my God, it's amazing. And I will always be transparent. You know, I've not used this myself, but I have heard that this is incredible and I think would be really useful to you guys. That would be the only time in that instance where I haven't used it that I would feel comfortable. But again, it would be set in that transparency mode. There's also the second point of, I was speaking to a client a couple of weeks ago. She was offered the opportunity to go and speak at this event. And after she said, yeah, great, I'd love to come, she was then asked to pay for that event, to pay for the privilege of speaking. Now, this event is very small. It doesn't have her ideal audience. So you could argue, would it be a waste of her time anyway? But actually, her expertise and her talent as speaking would have done the event a favor, not the other way around. So you have to think, okay, is this even worth paying for? I'm all for pay to play if it's going to make sure that it's beneficial for you, that you are getting out of what you put in to pay for something. Are you going to get the exposure that you need? And in that instance, you didn't. But also, if money, or the fact that somebody is you just know them, or they're just in your audience, is the only prerequisite to collaborating with somebody, then where are my standards? Where are your standards for your business? Surely you have some things that you stand for, some values, some boundaries. If someone came along who was talking about, I don't know, love, light and abundance and hippie stuff, it doesn't align with my business. It doesn't align with my business at all. And if we have different points of view on things and it doesn't represent what I'm about, then it's damaging to both sides. It's really important that you collaborate with people and take on people that uphold the standards that you hold for your own business and match the branding that you want to portray out there. And again, it does pay to be picky, because if you decide that you're just going to collaborate with any Tom, Dick or Harry that just rocks up, that goes, hey, yeah, I'm totally happy to collaborate with you, I'd love to do that, you've got to have some boundaries set around what you will and won't do. You do have to be aligned with it. And unfortunately, that does sometimes mean that you will get rejected and that I will get rejected as well, because if it doesn't fit someone else's brand, that's totally, totally cool. But we have to accept that we're all our own individual entities and we're all here to run a business. And yes, it's about supporting each other, but there are other ways to support each other without having to collaborate, without having to just automatically be that person that goes out there and advocates products when we haven't even used them or recognize it. It's the same as when, for instance, and here we go, here's another controversial topic, someone joins, say, a network marketing company, and they've been your friend for years, and they're like, I would love you to join the team and I would love you to go out there and promote this product for me. It's like, well, hold on a second. I haven't even used this product. It's not something I'm really passionate about. It's not something I really want to do. Are you going to feel forced to do it just because you're their friend? No, you're not going to do that. In fact, it just makes you feel like, oh God, like, leave me alone. So people can be upset about not having first dibs on speaking opportunities, or they can get their backs up because you haven't chosen them or taken their pitch. But at the end of the day, it has to fit both sides. For it to really portray your brand and business, it does pay to be picky, because you cannot choose or decide when a newbie comes in and watches a piece of your content. You have no control over that. If you're someone like me who is putting out content left, right, and center in both written and video format, audio format, all over the shop, you don't know when someone will rock up and see you in that moment. And people will make first impressions. They will take on board what they see then and there from that very moment. You don't have control over when that happens, but you do have control over what you decide to be a part of, what you decide to share, how you decide to come across, what your brand stands for. So be protective, be careful, decide what you want to align with, and don't be pressurized and persuaded to do something that doesn't fit your brand, your audience, or your business. If it doesn't fit within that, if it doesn't fit within your values, your views, and you're not aligned to it, then don't do it. Don't collaborate and don't feel bad about it. There are certain standards that I hold. If I had a speaking opportunity and I didn't feel like, for instance, that business was an expert in that, they were fluffy, they were wishy-washy, all the things that I stand against, because I help people move through that fluffy stage because they don't want to continue being that person, then it doesn't make any sense to my business. So be careful. You can't always get it right. You can't always be prepared for when you do. I've heard many stories of people collaborating with others when they think it's a great idea and then actually at the end of it, it doesn't. You know, you can only do your best to decide on what's right and what's wrong, but don't ever feel pressurized from the outset to do something that you don't want to do. You know, if you've got an event that you have speaking spaces for, then I went out and sourced people. I chose people. Like Jo used to be my client. I've chosen to collaborate with her because we are on the same wavelength. We get on really, really well. We make great friends as well as clients. And I know that she's an expert in her field, and I would be proud for her to be a part of that. I would be proud to collaborate with something with her. But you've got to have that synergy and you've got to have that pride in that collaboration. It's important. Otherwise, what you're putting out there isn't going to represent you in the way that you want to be. So do be careful what you associate with. Do be careful what you put on board. And do your best to protect those boundaries. And that's my it's like kind of like a bit of a mini truth bomb show today. Bang, maybe I'll just repurpose this into a truth bomb. But yeah, there we go. I've said it, and it makes me sound perhaps like a horrible hag, but it doesn't mean I dislike these people. It doesn't mean that I don't think they're great at what they do, because I'm sure they have incredible talents, incredible products, and whatever else. But if it doesn't fit my audience, if it doesn't fit my brand or my business, then we have to find people that we're right for. And just because you're friends with people doesn't mean that they're the right people. There we go. I've said it. I hope that helps. Nikki says, I will lose credibility if I let people sell products that I don't endorse in my group. Absolutely. Exactly that, Nikki. And I'm totally on board with what you just said there. She also says, I have all kinds of network marketing people trying to get into my group and sell weight loss products. I am fiercely protective of that group and won't allow it. Good for you. Excellent. Exactly. You have to protect your audience. You're exactly right. So yeah, what is it? Jane says your email about this topic rocked, bang on. I'm so glad you've enjoyed it. And yeah, it is a little bit controversial, but there we go. There's my view. I don't know if you agree, disagree. Let me know in the comments. Right, I'm off. Take care. Bye-bye.